Hello, everybody. I just thought I'd get on here and we'd chat a little bit. I didn't get around to making another video this evening, so thought I'd get on here and just chat with everybody, see what everybody's doing this evening. Just have a little evening chat. See if anybody comes in here this evening. I wanted to get on here and kind of chat with everybody. Let me get a bottle of water here. And see what kind of videos y'all wanted to see for the new year. What type of cooking videos, what type of gardening videos, what kind of planning videos, that type of thing. Usually if I have the schedule, people are waiting in line to get in chat, but since I didn't schedule it, I figure they're somewhere else. But anyway, we know that New Year is this weekend. I mean, basically Sunday night is bringing in the new year. And after that, you got to start thinking about what you're going to be planting for the spring. I mean, you got January, February, March. Second week in March is when I do my planting. So, yeah, it's not as far away as you think. And I really got to get out to my compost bin and put some more leaves and one more layer of dirt on it, and then just leave it, and then start working and add more to my the compost barrel that you spin, because I don't have very much in that, and I've got to start adding stuff to that. So I'll ensure to have plenty of compost for planting time this spring. And like I said, it's January, February, March. So you got like 2.5 months, and it's going to be planting time, or at least it will be here in Texas, north central Texas. It depends on what area of the country you live in, what planting zone you're in, what you can plant at your time. So that's one reason I wanted to get on here and chat with people, and just let you know that we do have spring planting to start thinking about. It's not that far away. We've got to start planning what we're going to put in the ground or in our pots and totes come the second week of March. Because this weekend is the end of December. It's the start of the new year. January, February, and then 2 weeks into March, we're ready to plant. I've already been getting some of my stuff lined up that I'm going to be planting that second week. Let you know, I don't plant everything that second week, but there's a lot of stuff that I do plant. So, and I thought maybe there'd be people on here tonight that would like to talk about that. And like I said, I didn't plan this live. I just did it at the last minute. I said, hopefully there'll be people at home not doing anything and want to get on here and chat. Yeah, I usually plant my squash, my zucchini, Uh, my beans, cucumbers. Sometimes I hold, the second week in March. Sometimes I do hold off another week or so before I plant tomato plants, if I have any, or if I can get hold of any that time of year. If I haven't already started them myself from seed, I might hold off just a little bit before I, do that. But yeah, I usually plant my garden about the second to third week in March every year. Because if you wait too late, by the time your plants come up, it's going to be so hot it'll kill them. I mean, that's the way it does here in Texas, in north central Texas. So I found if I plant my plants second week in March, they'll come up, they'll start producing before it gets so hot. And they'll start producing pretty good crops for me before it gets so hot that the plants will die off. Well, it seems like everybody's doing something else tonight. I haven't got my regular standbys coming in, so shows that I do have somebody else watching, but they're not coming chat. But yeah, there's some things that you can wait a little longer to plant. But the majority of your seeds you want to get in the ground the second week of March. I mean, I did my planting and then it snowed. And it does not hurt the seeds, because usually it'll snow one day, the snow's gone by the next day, it warms back up, and then my seeds will germinate and sprout. So I'm not worried about putting seeds in the ground the second week of March. Or like I said, in my totes or buckets or wherever I'm going to plant them. If I have silent watchers, y'all need to come join me in chat. We're just having a live chat tonight, talking about gardening, planning on a garden for the spring, or whatever you want to talk about, basically. I've had a lot on my mind. I know I've got certain people that, for some reason or another, have decided they don't like my channel. They feel like I must be competition for them or something. And they've done everything that they could possibly do to deter people from watching my videos or even coming into my live chats, which is very discouraging and very disappointing. Because I've already told all my viewers that I do nothing to hurt other YouTubers. I don't do anything to discourage people from watching their videos. I feel like people have a free will and a free mind. They can get on YouTube and watch anybody's channel or any video they want to watch. If they want to watch mine, that's fine too. I like that even better. But, you can't browbeat them to watch your videos. And I'm definitely not going to threaten them like I know these other people are doing. You either do what they say or they'll bring your whole channel down. And that's what they're trying to do to me. And I said I wasn't going to talk about it. And I shouldn't have brought it up because, I don't mention names. I'm not going to mention names. It's just sad that the world has come to that. That even on YouTube, you got to fight for your space on YouTube. You can't leave the other person alone and let them try to succeed, without having a battle. I mean, it's just a sad situation. It really is. I mean, I'm not that big a YouTuber. I've only got 2.5 K subscribers. I mean, and I've been doing this for quite a while, and I've worked my tail off to get those 2.5 K subscribers. I worked too hard for somebody just to bring me down and say goodbye. I'm not going to do that. They have another thing coming if they think that's going to happen. Maybe some of my regulars will be in a minute or two. They probably don't even realize I'm live right now. But I just planted my garlic and my yellow onions, my red onions, my white onions. And here a while back, I replanted another pot or two of my Egyptian walking onions, which you can basically plant them any time of the year you have the bulbs to plant them. Because they'll live right through the snow and the ice. And if I'd have thought about it, I would have planted some celery seed and cilantro seed back months ago when it first started cooling off, because they would have really thrived right now. Cilantro doesn't like the heat. Celery doesn't like the heat either very much. I mean, it'll tolerate some, but they're basically cool weather plants. They like to grow in the cool weather. Well, I figured Gladys would have popped in by now, or Connie or Susie. But I don't know what they're doing on a Friday night. I just got a message from one of my subscribers. See who I can. Well, there's Sharon. She just came in. Hello, Sharon. How are you? I was just sending messages to some of my people. How are you doing, Sharon? I just thought I'd come on and talk about gardening, planting, whatever people want to talk about. Just got a message back. Yeah, I was just wondering what everybody was doing on a Friday night, other than just sitting home like me. Finally feeling better, been sick for almost, oh no. Sorry to hear that, Sharon. I hope you don't have COVID or something like that. I was kind of down today. I couldn't really get moving. I don't know if the weather has anything to do with it. It's been kind of gloomy today, cool. I mean, the high was only about 50 some degrees. The wind's been blowing terribly. But I just couldn't get motivated. I finally got my video posted this morning, first thing. But then after that, it was just like, I don't want to do anything today. If you know what I mean. I know you've had days like that. I'm not sick. I just couldn't get moving, couldn't get motivated to get up and get things done. So I said, well, I think I'm just going to take the day off. And then a little while ago, I decided, well, I've been lazy all afternoon. I think I'll just pop on and go live and see what people are doing. But I'm sorry to hear you've been sick for almost 3 weeks. That's terrible. That's a long time to be down. I know it's like my subdivision is booming. They're buying lots left and right. They're putting up real big, nice, fancy brick homes on all these lots around me. And I'm here in this old mobile home, and it kind of makes me feel bad. Because years ago, I bought another lot beside me because I wanted to build a house back when my kids were still living at home. But I was never financially able to do that. And now we got all these people coming in, buying up lots, and building these nice brick homes on them. And I said, well, it makes me feel bad because that's what I wanted to do not many years ago and never could do it. So I don't know if that makes sense, but well, we just got another person come in. I don't know if they'll come in chat or not. But the ones of you that are watching, give me a thumbs up at least. I don't have any thumbs up yet. Well, I got one. Looks like we got a couple of silent viewers. They don't want to come in chat. There's Susan. I'm kind of here, she says. Well, that's understandable. Not sure what is going on. Got error message. Oh, I see. Oh, Susan, I got in here talking about planting. I said, this weekend will be the first of the year. I mean, Sunday night is New Year's Eve. That means we've only got about 2.5 months before planting season. People have to start thinking about what they're going to plant that second week in March. I don't know where Gladys is tonight. She didn't know I was going to go live, so she may be sleeping. She may be in another chat somewhere. I just don't know. Something is going on, but something is happening in the world right now, kind of distracted. I don't know what you mean, Susan. They have the nuke command. They have the nuke command of planes up. That doesn't sound good. I'm going to see if I can bring something up. Yeah, they had some kind of mess with Biden that was live this afternoon, and I meant to go in and watch some of it. And I got distracted, and I never made it back to watch what was going on. So I don't know what was going on with him in that live. 2 in the Gulf and some off California. I may not hear you since I have him on. So is Biden live right now? I need to get a drink. And one over Oklahoma. Well, they've got the impeachment hearing live on Biden, but I don't see anything about command planes. House Republicans ask White House for records on Hunter Biden disposition. I don't know. I'm not finding anything. Where do you see him at, Susan? He monitors the military aircraft. He worked in Afghanistan in the past. No, this is a guy I listen to that has inside info. Where do you listen to him at? Is it on a news channel or what? I was getting a drink. Where do you listen to this guy at, Susan? You aren't going to find it on mainstream media. It's a guy that used to be on YouTube, but he has gone private because of the shadow banning he had and stuff. Oh, I see. I was going to try to find him and see what was going on. Oh, wow. Sorry for my typing. He has special attentions that get the codes from all the military. Oh, I see. There's Tracy B. Hello, Tracy. How are you doing this evening? Merry Christmas to you and Happy New Year. I think I need scissors for left-handed. You know, I'm lucky because I'm left-handed, but I use scissors with my right hand. I'm ambidextrous, actually. Actually, I've tried to use scissors with my left hand. I can't hold them right. I have to use them with my right hand. I always have. Well, it looks like I've got something else sitting on my doorstep. Let me go look. Well, I don't know. I got this. Oh, we got Too Tall Rob. Hello, Too Tall Rob. They also had a big con pies for $1.20. I got 6. I went to Oldies today. Got 6 bags of coconut rum coffee. They got $44 a pound. It's delicious. I don't have a Oldies here. I don't know what store that is. It must be a grocery store. Yeah, Susan, my mom didn't realize I was ambidextrous until I was helping her do some ironing one day. And I was maybe 12, something like that. And I'd be there ironing, with my right hand and just ironing away. And then all of a sudden I'd get tired of, ironing with my right hand, and I'd switch and I'd be ironing with my left hand. And my mom says, Linda, what are you doing? I said, what do you mean, Mom? What am I doing? I'm helping you iron. She said, yeah, but you're using both hands. You use one hand one time and then you switch over and you're using the other one. I said, yeah, I always do that. She looked at me real puzzled, like, like, how come you're doing that? I'm ambidextrous. That's how I found out. I was different. I use both hands. Yeah, I got this, I think it's some kind of thing that's supposed to help purify the air, but it wouldn't plug into my outlet, so the the anonymous giver ordered the converter, and it's European to US, so I can plug it into my plug-in. The only thing is, it don't seem to be working. I don't know. It says you're supposed to plug it in and long press. And there's supposed to be a light that comes on. Press a second time. But there's no light. I don't hear any clicking. So I don't know. I'm not sure what's going on with it. Yeah, she says, she just sent me a message and said turn the plug around, so maybe I'll turn it around and see what happens. I don't know, it's the same. It still does nothing. No, there's no light showing there's electricity going to it or anything, and I plugged it into other outlets. I mean, I know there's electricity coming from this outlet, but I don't know what the problem is. Yeah, I have too tall rod. I've took it in the bathroom. I plugged it into that outlet. Same thing. I brought it in the kitchen. I tried 2 outlets in the kitchen. Same thing. And I've tried it to this outlet here next to the computer, and there's no light coming on. There's no clicking sound coming from it or anything like they say that it's supposed to. As I say, you're supposed to long press. I did that, but there's no light or anything. There's no clicking. And then you can click it again or push it again real quick, and it puts it in another mode, but it's still on. And then if you push it the third time, it turns it off. But yeah, I've not been able to get a light of any kind come on this. And I've not heard any clicking at all, so I don't know. I have no idea. Have no idea. Yeah, I just turned the plug around. I turned it completely about faced it and plugged it back in, and it's the same way. There's no light coming on. There's no sound, no clicking, no nothing. Rhonda's saying, how tall is Too Tall Rob? I have no idea. You have to ask Too Tall Rob that. How are you doing, Rhonda? I'll leave it plugged in and see if something happens. I don't know. 6'8". Oh my God, that is a tall man. You'd hit your head coming in my house. Your head would probably hit my ceiling. I'm not sure how tall my ceiling is, but it's not very tall. The top of your head would probably touch the ceiling. Tongue twister. Repeat 5 times as fast as you can. "73 years old and weigh 195 pounds. Well, that's not bad at all. I mean, for being that tall, that's a good weight. Your son is 6'4", Susan. Wow. My mom's brothers, my uncles, they were all 6'5". My grandfather, her dad was 6'5". But all the women in the family were short women. And my granddad on my dad's side, he was over 6 feet. He was a tall man. But my grandmother was shorter than me. Is that the tongue twister? How tall is too tall, Rob? Yeah, I don't think that was a... Where did I put it? I don't think there was a phone number there to ask. It just barely had some instructions on it. How to turn it on. It had Chinese or Japanese on one part and then American on the other. But there's no phone number to call to where you can ask any questions about it. So I don't know. Don't know. And it just has the address it was shipped from in McKinney, Texas. But there's no phone number, and they probably wouldn't know anything anyway. They're just a shipping. I had northern beans with onions and country ham hocks, and some. I'll paint your cornbread. What a day, what a life. The struggle is real. I don't know if I want apple crumble pie or pecan pie for dessert. Well, I baked my cake. I baked my cake to take to my son's house. I was looking for my cough drop things. I was doing real good today, but I wasn't talking. So I didn't cough a whole lot, but I get on here and start talking and I start coughing. Yeah, it does sound like some good eating. I haven't had pecan pie or apple crumble in years. Jalapeno cornbread. I don't know about stupid microphone. Jalapeno cornbread. I don't know about paying stupid microphone. I don't I don't understand that statement either. Oh, I see. That's what you meant. Your microphone doesn't always translate properly for you. Where is that phone number at, though, Randy? I wonder. Starts with 86. That's out of the country somewhere. Anybody know where the phone number with the prefix of 86 would be? It's got 86 and then 772-743-3050. It looks like it might have had an email too, but the email link don't work on mine. Hmm. Oh well. Aldi's. They have confirmation that U.S. forces have attacked Iranian forces in Iraq. Well, I saw here a day ago where they were doing some bombing in Afghanistan or somewhere over there. And Biden was behind doing that, so I hope our president's not starting a third world war on us. They have that at Aldi's? Huh. I might have to check them out. I usually bake my own pies, though. And I don't know about the coconut rum coffee. Has anybody else been keeping up with this stuff going on in Iraq? It seems like the U.S., according to Susan, has attacked Iranian forces in Iraq. I will be right back, y'all. Sorry about that, y'all. I got a crazy neighbor that evidently got a new four-wheeler or something for Christmas. And he's been speeding up and down the street in the dark with it. Somebody's fixing to get hurt. Israel, because there's a lot of war going on everywhere yet. Military amateur radio services active, which is not normal, especially for a weekend before a holiday, and the airways are very clear for it all. Yeah, that does sound scary, Susan. I think they've got a video that was just posted on YouTube about Biden. See if I can find it. Well, it seems like most of it that's coming up. Oh, here it is. It says Biden orders airstrikes against the Iran-backed militia after U.S. something. So it says news about airstrikes U.S. and Iraq. That was updated 2 days ago. So Biden has evidently ordered it's all about the impeachment of Biden. But then on like the third one down, it's got that stuff about Biden ordering airstrikes against Iraq. Yeah, it says that news about airstrikes, U.S. and Iraq. But this is like 2 days ago. I've not been keeping up with the news, y'all, so I'm in the dark about this. Well, here's something that was 40 minutes ago. It says Russia launches its largest air assault on Ukraine since start of oh, they keep it said it's the largest attack. Yeah, Russia unleashed largest attack against Ukraine, and this is 2 hours ago. It says Russia and Ukraine war. says Russia launches massive aerial attack on Ukraine. But it's still not saying anything about. It's all scripted so you get what they want to hear. In the driveway takes me 10 minutes to get out of the car and in the house. Give me a few minutes, I'm listening. Okay. It's been going on all day, starting around midnight our time. All I can say is try to have water, food, and if you can, medicine, or at least a couple of months. That does not sound good. But if they start bombing us, they may bomb your house. It's not going to do any good to have food and water stored because it'll be blown up. They got some videos on here that show some pretty devastating destruction with them bombing, Russia bombing Ukraine. And this was like just a few hours ago. 2 hours ago, 5 hours ago, 6 hours ago. Russia's been striking with missiles against Ukraine. That's terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. I tell you what, Susan, they start bombing us, I'm going to come see you. Because it sounds like you're prepared. I'll be showing up at your door. And there's April Flowers. Hello. Goes that four-wheeler again. One of these times I'm going to hear him go by and I'm going to hear him wrap around a tree. You might have to share a bed with CC and Tippy. Well, it looks already like I'm already sharing my bed with little buddy. He's on the foot of my bed stretched out right now. He went walking down the hall and he says, meow, meow. Like telling me he wants to go to bed. Usually he does that about the time I go to bed because he'll get at my feet. But I'm not going to bed in the middle of the afternoon. But he was ready to go take him a nap, so he went down the hall, and the next thing I knew, he was on the end of the bed and he was sound asleep. He's still in there. Susan said, but you're welcome and you can cook all the food I have. Says, sorry, no cats in my apartment because I'm deathly allergic. You're probably allergic to the dander on them. Because I would be allergic to the animals too if they had a lot of dander on their skin. And there's Connie, she's back. We've been talking about the assault on the Ukraine and Iraq and everything else. Deep breath. Yeah, be careful, April, if you're driving. You go right ahead, Too Tall Rob. I need to take my own advice, LOL, Susan says. Have a good night, Rob. I've been, like I said, I've been catching up on the House episodes. I watched 4 or 5 of them last night before I went to bed. And I'll probably watch more of them tonight. You went shopping with Jesse. Did you buy something pretty, Susan? Sounds like they stopped right out there in front of my house this time. I decided to get an electric can opener. Might need it. Well, my electric can opener burned out, and I decided I was not going to replace the electric one. But I've got several hand can openers that I use. They don't require electricity. Oh, I see, Susan. I'm not trying not to buy too much of that because I don't have a whole lot of counter space. Well, hi, George. How are you doing this evening? We're in here talking about a little bit of everything. It's just a night get together chat. Cold, oh. Yeah, it's a little chilly here, but it's like 48 degrees right now. It's not too bad. It'll be in the 60s tomorrow, but then the temperature will drop down a little next week. But it's still not that bad. 35 in Kentucky. Y'all remember to hit the thumbs up. I only see 6 thumbs up and there's 11 people watching. I don't know if it was the cooler weather today or what it was. It just had me down. I've been dragging all day. 37 where Susan is and was around 50 earlier. Cloudy and rainy where George is at. Kansas. We haven't had any rain today. Connie, you're as bad as I am. I get so discouraged listening to the news, I stop listening. And everybody else fills me in on what's going on with the world. And that's kind of the way I look at it. If we break out in the war and they start bombing us, I won't know anything until they drop a bomb on my house, I guess, and then it'll be over. It'll be over for me anyway. I tell you, the world's a sad place today. You think in this day and time we wouldn't have countries fighting, dropping bombs on one another, shooting missiles at one another. You think the day of that kind of stuff is far gone, but it's not. Probably never will be gone. Maui has a supercomputer for telescopes that makes us a target as well. Oh, wow. And the belief if I have the stuff, I won't need it. But when I don't have it, I wish I did. Yeah, that's the way I am. Usually if I don't have something, that's when I need it. If I got plenty of it, I don't need it. And I hold on to stuff because sometimes if I get rid of something, a week or 2 weeks later, I'm looking for it. I'm looking for it because I found a use for it and I don't have it then. I know, Connie, it's crazy. They fight over everything. Even the government fights over everything. Oh, man. I should not be tired. I even laid down on the couch about 12:30 today and tried to take a nap because I was just getting so sleepy. I felt like I couldn't hold my eyes open. And I wanted to get out in the yard and do something and do another video, but it didn't happen. Hi, Annie. How are you? I didn't know I was going to have one either. It was just a spur of the minute thing. So don't feel bad. I just decided at the last minute just to go ahead and go live and see if anybody showed up. I know there's so much traffic in this town. Once you stop at a red light, you're there, it seems like forever. Mm-hmm. 6-inch long needle. Ooh, I don't think so. That thing would go in one side and go out the other. Mm. I know. I guess if I had to get it done, I'd have to get it done, but that sounds terrible to have a big needle like that stuck in your knee. And there's Shatika. Hello, Shatika. Welcome to our surprise chat tonight. Doctor Doctor has cold spray. Yeah, I know that's supposed to get rid of the pain, but I don't know. Exactly, Connie. But people don't understand that. Most people out there, all they think about is what they want at the time. They don't care about other people. They don't care who they hurt. And sometimes it seems like the governments are the worst. I don't think the world will ever be a perfect place to live. There's always going to be disagreements, problems. Hi, Randy. We just decided to have us a late chat. Nope, no one is perfect. Yeah, I had a nice lazy Christmas, but I'll have a good Christmas Sunday. I'll have a good Christmas and New Year's Eve this coming Sunday with my family. You thumbs up? Okay, thanks. Everybody needs to hit the thumbs up. The only needle really just like this one had my Spinal Tap. Ooh. I've never had a Spinal Tap. Yeah, one reason I had this late chat is because I wanted to ask what kind of videos you want to see for the new year as far as gardening or cooking videos. Connie says I cried like a baby. Oh no. Mm. That's like when I had a stent in my heart. I couldn't move for hours after, flat on my back. Don't move your head or anything. Wow. That's pretty bad. Did all of you see my cake video this morning? I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I've got some of my older standard stuff that I'm going to plant. And I might end up coming up with some new things and trying them. I don't know. I haven't decided what they'd be yet. I'm still debating how to do the rocks around the little bird bath I got out here. The one that I fixed the concrete foundation for so it wouldn't turn over. I've got all different types of ideas going through my mind about how to fix like a little garden bed around it or something. I haven't really decided exactly what I want to do yet. Oh, it is good. I can't wait to cut into it, but it'll be Sunday before I cut it. I got a message from one of my viewers that said that reminded them of a hummingbird cake. And I'd never heard of a hummingbird cake before, but I looked up a recipe for it, and it was real close to what I had done, only I didn't use pineapple in my cake. And in a hummingbird cake, they use pineapple in it, crushed pineapple. Oh, and that was in the 5-gallon bucket out there that I couldn't figure out what it was. I took a picture of it and put it in the plant idea, and it was catnip. So evidently, I had catnip planted in that pink tote in a little pot in the corner of it. Some of the seeds from that brushed over or fell over into that bucket, and they came up in the bucket. So I've got catnip. I thought all the catnip had died, but it came back up in that bucket. And this year was the first year I ever planted catnip. Well, good, Annie. I'm glad you like watching my garden videos. There's so many things I need to get out there and do, and I just couldn't get motivated today to do it. So I guess I just took the day off. You have to do that once in a while. I don't know. I've kind of thought about fixing like a rock wall surrounding the area where the bird bath is, enough to where I can plant stuff in it, or either make some really big cement and rock pots to put around it. But I don't know. It would probably take more cement and more rocks to make a pot than it would just to make a wall around the circumference and fill it in with dirt, or be able to put pots in it. I don't know yet. I'm still thinking, like I said. If y'all have any good ideas, let me know. I plant everything out here, from greens, squash, cantaloupe, cucumbers, melons, peppers, tomatoes, herbs, cilantro, all kind of different flowers that I know will grow out here. Little buddy has been getting ripped up too. And he said her husband loves the cooking videos. Yeah, I know, but I'm talking about making them as big as like a half of a wine barrel. You know, really big ones. And I said, well, if I made two bigger ones, I wouldn't be able to move them. I just haven't decided what I'm going to do around it yet. I got to make up my mind because I need to do something to it. Yeah, I grew a bunch of okra this year, but it got so hot and dry on it, my garden suffered. I didn't hardly get any tomatoes. Got a lot of bell peppers and other peppers, but not the hot peppers. Last year, all I had was hot peppers. I had jalapenos and habaneros and chili peppers coming out my ears, but I couldn't get them to grow this year. I'm hoping that this coming summer will be a lot different. I've not had that problem with my peppers, George. The heat stunted their growth a little bit, but they grew and produced pretty peppers. And I picked a ton of them and canned them. I made pepper relish with them. And I bought some hot ones to chop up to go in them. So it's not real hot, but it does have a little bit of heat from the hot peppers in it. Is it real wet where you're at? Is that why they get bad spots on your peppers or something? I don't remember what causes that. I have to keep a piece of candy or a cough drop in my mouth. Huh. I don't know what would cause it to get that rot on them. I've not had that problem with mine here. I just planted a bunch of onions. I planted white onions, yellow onions, red onions. I've got, I know one whole tub of garlic planted. And I've got 5 or 6 tubs of Egyptian walking onions. Because I use a lot of onions in my cooking. You're finally home, April? Well, good. Yeah, my onions came about a week early, so I got them planted already. I'm going to try the red and the yellow onions and the white ones and see how they do. And if they do real good, then I'll plant a lot more of them next year. I'm just trying them this year. I know the Egyptian walking onions do great here, but I don't know about the other ones. I mean, I know the Egyptian walking onions grow great here. I've planted it, but it just did not do right for me here. I planted bok choy this past year and it came up and then it just died off. It didn't do anything. I don't know if I planted it the wrong time of the year or I just don't know what I did wrong. Or maybe it just doesn't like the climate here. I planted bok choy. I planted, oh, what do they call it? Leeks. My leeks didn't do anything. And my carrots would have grown good if it hadn't been so dry. And then with our water rationing, I couldn't keep enough water to them. But they tried to grow. I ordered mine online, Annie. And I think I got about 12 bulbs for like $15 or $20. I don't know if I got them from Gurney's or where I ordered them from. But that's how I got mine. I ordered them online. And I planted them as soon as I got them. I've tried radishes this summer and they tried to grow. And I did eat a couple of them, but they just didn't do good because it was so hot and dry. And then with the water restriction, no, I couldn't keep them watered good. So they suffered. Well, you just have to experiment, go through trial and error. Plant something, and if it grows good, then you plant it the next year. If you plant something and it doesn't grow good, figure out what was going wrong, or maybe it's something you just can't plant in your climate. Yeah, come the second or third week in March, I'm going to be planting squash, zucchini, cucumbers, everything I can get in the ground or in the tubs and the totes and the buckets. Yeah, just put in Egyptian walking onions in the search bar and do a search on it. And every nursery, Amazon may even sell them. I don't know. Gurney's nursery may sell them. I've ordered quite a few seeds from Gurney's before, but I don't remember exactly which one I ordered my Egyptian walking onions for. But I just typed in the name and did a search, and it brought up every website that sold them. And I kind of opened up some websites and looked at the prices and the onions, and finally I ordered them from one of them, and like I said, I don't remember which one. But they come as little onion bulbs, little tiny onion bulbs, and you have to plant them as soon as you get them. But once you plant them and get them growing, they'll produce their own little planting bulbs for the next year. That's why they call them walking onions. They'll come right up the stem of the onion and burst out in a whole group of little onion bulbs at the top. And when they get mature, you can break them off and plant them, and they'll start new onion plants. So you'll never run out of onions once you start Egyptian walking onions. I started out with 12 bulbs, and I've got 6 pots and totes full of onions out there now. $20 for $16. Yeah, that sounds about right. That may have been where I ordered mine. I don't remember. I know I've ordered a lot of stuff to plant from Amazon. But like I said, once you plant those walking onions, as long as you don't pull up the whole onion, you just cut the tops off, they'll always come back up. And they'll produce more bulbs to where you can plant to start more plants. And then after you get a lot of them, you can start pulling the whole onion up and chopping the whole onion up to use in your cooking instead of buying onions. You know, right now I've got so many of the tubs and pots, I don't mind pulling out an onion or two if I need it, because I've got plenty growing already. And I know the ones that are out there will produce even more for next year, so they're well worth spending the money to get. You get seeds from Gurney's? Yeah, I do too, quite often. But yeah, I thought Amazon sold the Egyptian walking onions. But if you order them, make sure it says on what you're ordering that they are Egyptian walking onions. Because there's some that are similar, they're not the true Egyptian walking onions. And I can't vouch for them, but I know the Egyptian walking onions do good. It's funny, because when they start walking, as they call it, the green stem that comes up, you know, that normally you would cut off and chop up in your food, it starts getting a little swelled out place at the bottom of it toward the ground. And it'll gradually come up the stalk of that onion. And it'll come up and come up. And it'll move all the way to the top, and then it bursts out in a clove of little onion plants, little onions. And that's what you take off and plant in another pot. That's what they call them, walking onions. But it's funny to see them do that. I had never seen onion plants do that in my life before, because that was the first Egyptian walking onions I had ever seen. And he said, did you see my... Well, yeah, Annie, I did see it. That's what I'm saying. You can get them from Amazon. And you probably can get them from Gurney's as well. So some of them just say walking onions. And I'm not sure if they're the true Egyptian walking onions or not. I just made sure mine said Egyptian walking onions before I ordered them, because I wanted to make sure I got the right ones. Ooh, my nose itches. Because I remember when I was looking for my Egyptian walking onions, in the same section it had onions that looked like them, but it just had walking onions. And then there was a few of them that actually had Egyptian walking onions. And I made sure that the ones I ordered said Egyptian walking onions because I didn't know if there was any difference in them. I mean, there may not have been any difference at all, but I wasn't going to take the chance. I wanted Egyptian walking onions, and that's what I made sure I ordered. I'm going to gain weight just from eating cough drops and hard candy to keep from coughing. And he says, oh, how funny, I want to watch him. Yeah, I thought it was so neat when I first saw him doing it. I said, well, these onions are pregnant. And they're moving up the stalk. And I've already got requests for the sunflower seeds of that sunflower plant I've got in the yard that's got all those sunflowers on it. Because, I tied it with tools, several of the flowers, to make sure I saved some seeds. Because I definitely want to plant more of those. That's a beautiful sunflower plant. I mean, some of my walking onions are in little plants, pots about that big around, and some are in the bigger totes or a 5-gallon bucket. So you can pretty much grow them in anything. Rhonda, you leaving us? Yeah, I gotta go too. We've been on here for almost 2 hours. I didn't intend to stay on this long. So I guess I'm going to bring it to a close. I'm going to get over here and watch me a couple of episodes of House and then go to bed. So all of you have a good night. Thank all of you for coming in. And I'll probably see you again this weekend sometime, if not tomorrow. You never know about me. So tell everybody I said, like, share, subscribe to my videos. Y'all have a blessed night. And above all, watch my videos. Love y'all. Bye.